The power of emotional engagement. Fueling social change through connection. Emotional engagement is not merely a marketing tactic, it is the lifeblood of meaningful social change. In an era where information overload saturates our screens, capturing hearts matters far more than grabbing attention. Activists, organizations, and leaders who harness emotional connections forge lasting impact that transcends fleeting trends. This article explores how emotional engagement drives powerful movements, unites diverse communities, and transforms passive observers into passionate advocates for justice. Fueling movements with authentic emotion. Social change begins when individuals feel deeply connected to a cause. This connection arises from stories that reflect shared struggles, hopes, and aspirations. When people see their own experiences mirrored in narratives of resistance or resilience, they become active participants rather than silent witnesses. Authentic emotion builds trust between activists and their audiences. It bridges gaps created by cultural differences, generational divides, and political polarizations. Trust becomes the foundation upon which collective action is built. Storytelling as a catalyst. Real-life accounts humanize abstract issues, making them tangible and urgent. Vulnerability breeds empathy. Sharing personal pain or triumphs fosters deeper understanding among disparate groups. Movements thrive when they channel raw emotions, anger at injustice, hope for progress, love for future generations, into coordinated efforts. These feelings transform isolated outrage into unified action. Crafting narratives that spark action. Effective storytelling requires identifying the core emotional drivers behind each movement. What fuels your passion? Is it grief over systemic racism, joy in community solidarity, or frustration at environmental neglect? Knowing these motivations allows creators to shape messages that resonate emotionally while staying true to their values. A well-crafted narrative doesn't just inform, it ignites internal conviction and external advocacy. Consider the civil rights movement's use of music and poetry during protests. Songs like "We Shall Overcome" transformed despair into collective determination through rhythm, repetition, and shared lyrics. Digital platforms offer new avenues for spreading emotionally charged messages globally. Hashtags can encapsulate complex sentiments, viral videos can expose injustices instantly, and interactive media can immerse users in alternative realities. Yet technology alone cannot replace genuine human connection. The most impactful campaigns blend digital reach with real-world interactions that deepen emotional bonds. Harnessing anger without losing purpose. Anger is often the first emotion experienced when witnessing inequality or oppression. However, unchecked rage risks devolving into chaos rather than constructive dialogue. Skilled activists learn to channel anger productively toward solutions. Rather than fueling division, directed anger becomes a force for accountability and reform. It motivates legal challenges, policy changes, and grassroots mobilization without sacrificing compassion for those affected. Training in conflict resolution helps manage volatile situations. Techniques such as de-escalation strategies, respectful listening practices, and nonviolent communication ensure sustained momentum without self-destruction. Successful campaigns balance fury with clarity, identifying root causes instead of focusing solely on symptoms. For example, addressing police brutality involves both condemning individual acts and demanding institutional transformation. Bridging divides through shared humanity in divided societies, finding common ground seems impossible. Yet emotional engagement reveals universal desires: safety, dignity, fairness, belonging. Recognizing these shared needs creates space for dialogue across ideological lines. Art has long served as a bridge between opposing viewpoints. Murals depicting marginalized voices, plays highlighting historical truths, and films exploring societal fractures all evoke empathy regardless of background. Workshops that encourage perspective-taking help participants walk in others' shoes literally or metaphorically. Experiential learning reinforces understanding better than theoretical arguments ever could. Cross-cultural collaborations demonstrate that even vastly different traditions share similar moral foundations. These intersections create fertile ground for mutual respect and cooperation. When people connect emotionally, not intellectually, they begin seeing fellow humans as partners rather than adversaries in a zero-sum game. Nurturing hope amidst adversity. Hope sustains movements through setbacks. Every successful campaign faces obstacles, censorship attempts, funding shortages, burnout. Yet persistent belief in positive outcomes keeps volunteers motivated despite uncertainty. Highlighting small victories restores optimism after defeats. Showing incremental progress reminds everyone involved that change is possible, even if slow, and worth striving for. Celebrating milestones publicly reinforces communal achievement. Whether winning local legislation or raising awareness through art installations, recognizing successes fuels further effort. Support systems are crucial for maintaining morale. Mentorship programs pair newcomers with seasoned organizers who understand the journey ahead. Includes many bumps along the road. Regular check-ins prevent exhaustion from turning into withdrawal. Knowing one isn't alone makes enduring hardships infinitely easier. Cultivating empathy in digital spaces. Online activism presents unique challenges to forming deep emotional ties. While hashtags spread quickly, they sometimes lack nuance found in face-to-face interactions. Still, virtual spaces offer unprecedented opportunities for global participation. Curated online communities foster safer environments for open expression. Moderators trained in trauma-informed care protect vulnerable voices while upholding respectful discourse guidelines. Interactive documentaries allow viewers to experience events firsthand via immersive storytelling techniques. Feeling physically present at demonstrations heightens emotional investment in the cause. Virtual reality simulations enable participants to witness consequences of climate change, poverty, or discrimination from multiple perspectives simultaneously, an educational approach unmatched by traditional media formats. However, digital engagement must complement, not replace, in-person activities. Local chapters provide grounding experiences essential for sustaining long-term commitment beyond screen time. Building sustainable communities through love manifests differently within activist circles, sometimes as fierce protection against harm, other times as nurturing relationships supporting mental health. All forms contribute positively when channeled wisely. Creating safe havens within movements acknowledges the psychological toll of fighting for justice daily. Mental wellness initiatives include meditation sessions, counseling access, and peer support networks tailored specifically to activist lifestyles. Family-friendly policies reduce barriers preventing parents from participating fully. Childcare provisions at meetings or flexible scheduling options show appreciation for holistic contributions. Encouraging rest periods prevents burnout before it occurs. Recognizing limits honors both physical capabilities and emotional bandwidth necessary for effective service. Ultimately, sustainable activism requires caring equally for its members' well-being as for external goals pursued together. Measuring impact beyond numbers. Tangible metrics like signatures collected or funds raised tell only part of the story regarding emotional engagement success. True measurement considers qualitative aspects hard to quantify numerically. Surveys tracking shifts in public sentiment reveal whether messaging resonates emotionally. Changes in attitudes toward previously stigmatized topics indicate successful rebranding efforts using empathetic approaches. Participant testimonials capture nuances lost in statistical reports. Hearing direct quotes describing newfound motivation offers insight unavailable elsewhere. Longitudinal studies monitoring behavior patterns over years demonstrate lasting effects achieved through consistent emotional engagement strategies applied consistently. Evaluating success holistically ensures continued evolution without becoming stagnant amidst changing social landscapes. Conclusion: emotional engagement remains central to driving transformative social change today. By connecting heartbeats across borders, it turns scattered cries into unified symphonies capable of shifting paradigms permanently. To ignite enduring movements, prioritize authenticity above perfection, vulnerability alongside strength, and humanity within every strategy employed. Remember, the greatest power lies not in loud proclamations but quiet moments where two souls recognize themselves reflected back in another's eyes.